What's that?
I'll be a mystery guest.
Yeah, we don't have black people on the tour. Sorry. Thanks, King.
Wow, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
You don't need the money, man.
King of all blacks could be on the tour.
Absolutely.
He doesn't need the money. He's got
I love him.
All right, thank you, King. All right, boys, enough of
Thanks,
this.
man.
People write me letters. Don't talk about Ronnie's block party.
All right.
Scott, it's over, Johnny.
He got hooked up with girls.
My name's not Johnny.
I'm sorry, it's over, Scotty.
Well, I don't know if he got
This controversy sort of went out with a whimper.
Well, what am I going to do?
That he's still talking.
Well, did any part of you think, let me just suck it up, it's extra cash, or your principles are just too strong this time?
I have strong principles.
I'm going on the LA trip.
And you just figured that Shuli's doing some shady things behind the scenes, maybe with that Sequoia character as well. And there's a huge lack of trust for you.
What happened?
Listen, I don't know what was going on, but they wouldn't tell me what was going on, so I don't know. So obviously, I don't know what was going on. And when somebody doesn't want to tell you what's going on, then they already put suspicion on themselves. So
They are. Yes, they are.
I don't know. I don't think I was asking for a lot. In other words, well, it all just backfired according to everybody else. But I mean, if I asked for equal, which I thought I deserved, I thought we all deserved equal, then we could make $10 one weekend, and then I'd be out all that money. That was kind of a gamble on my part as well. So I don't see where I'm doing it for the money. I'm walking away from all that money. So I guess my principles are too strong. Right?
Are the Jackie comparisons unfounded? Do you
Yeah,
believe that they're accurate?
Forget Jackie. All right, they have nothing to do. He didn't have an agreement with Howard. Howard had nothing to do with it. I thought I had an agreement with these guys. I thought we were three together in this. We promote, we do, nobody does more than anybody else. Shuli goes out for more, 15 minutes more on stage than me and Ronnie. I don't know. I don't see where the comparison is. We're on the road the same amount of time. We're at the venues. We're at the meet and greets. I don't think anybody does any more than anybody else. We do all the promotion. We do it all here. I don't understand where one person thinks he deserves more than another person. Okay, we all did equally. So that's a problem with me. So I don't understand that. That's all.
Plus, your phone charges have to be through the roof with all the roaming.
Oh my God!
The data use.
Oh my God! I got to use my phone. It's wear and tear on the phone. I'm going to have to get another phone. I mean, really, they don't pay that expense.
Scott, in all seriousness, how many hundreds or thousands of dollars away are you guys from an agreement? Like, how much could he throw at you?
It's not a lot, and I'm trying to tell you, it's not the money. I'm trying to tell you that it's not a lot. So it's just a point of me being fair. It's just about being fair.
About justice.
So I don't think they were being fair, and that's
the American way.
If that is my fault, I mean a fault of mine, that I wanted things to be fair because I thought we started this together and we built it together. All of a sudden, somebody decides, hey, we're making a lot more money. Let me go in the cash register before everybody gets to count it. I think that's what happened. So, you want to come and discuss among us, all of a sudden you're giving yourself a raise. I don't know who made him boss anyway. So, whatever. That's the way it is. And they don't, want to talk about things. They, want to go ahead, like I said on the air, they book things without me knowing. Scott, we're going to prop you up, and you have to be here, and you have to be here, and you have to be here. I don't work for him. I thought it was like we worked together. All of a sudden, he was the boss. That's not going to happen. I don't work for him. So,
if honesty and integrity are wrong, then you don't want to be right.
Whatever. I was just thought it would be fair for everybody.
Shuli.
Yes, sir.
It seems finally we've established some resolution in the matter.
Yeah, we have some closure finally. Long overdue.
So the Jackie comparisons rang true for you?
That's all I could think about when this whole thing was going on was, I imagine this is what it must have been like dealing with Jackie. Like, it's somebody that is just never happy. They're never going to be happy, I could open every figure to him that he wants. It's still, he's going to find something to complain about and bitch about. I don't need it. I don't need to fucking have it.
Sorry, you still maintain that he's getting the fairest shake he could possibly get for what he brings to the...
For what he brings to the table, he's well over fair. He's well over fair, and that's really my point in all this is, you know, there's guys who are bringing much more to the table, who are making much less, and they got nothing to cry about. They're not bitching. They're not asking to see this and that. You know, he's doing very well, and it's not enough for him. And the bottom line is he doesn't trust me. You know, and I'm not going to work with somebody who doesn't trust me. And he's a quitter. I don't deal with quitters. I don't do that, you know. You do it, you do it.
Now you move on, and now you move north.
Yeah, we're going to Toronto. JD stepped up to the plate. He is a team player. He enjoys being there. He enjoys the party, and so does Ronnie. And the vibe, really, with those two was excellent. It was probably my favorite weekend that we've done so far. So, you know, look, I'm excited. I'm just glad this is over with. I've been stressing with this for the last few weeks, and it's just been making me nuts. And I got enough shit in my life. You know, this guy's life's almost over. I don't know what the fuck he's worried about. You know, mine's just starting. I got a fucking kid to raise. You know, and I gotta fucking hold this guy's hand through life. I'm tired of holding people's hands. I just want to hold my hand. That's all.
JD, now you become a permanent fixture on this tour. You're the permanent replacement.
I guess. I don't know.
Your first few forays into the block party world were extremely successful. Do you feel pressure to maintain this success?
Of course.
How do you plan on combating
that's almost that's probably the one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant to go out and do all the shows, because then I put pressure on myself that if they don't sell out, then I'm like fucking or something, you know what I mean? So if they're not a success,
in your wildest, I feel terrible. Nearly 10 years ago, you started here as an intern. In your wildest dreams, did you ever see yourself being a money-making act on the road?
No, I did not. I still don't. I don't. You know.
We'll start to believe it, Mister, because it's happening.
I guess.
Ron.
Yeah.
Let's talk block party.
Let's talk it.
Let's talk future.
All right.
Finally, some resolution for your boy Scott. Not the one you'd hoped for.
I'm not happy about it. Believe me. I don't know if he believes me, because I know he doesn't trust Shuley, so I don't even know if he trusts me, to be honest with you. You can't work in an environment like that when you don't trust somebody. I don't know how he, you know, whatever. Shuley told him he makes more money than him. I don't understand it, but I tried. I tried to talk to him yesterday, alone, me and him, and he's just got this thing in his head now, and that's it. And I think, to be honest with you, I think he's sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it turn around. But right now for the Toronto trip, they already booked his plane ticket. We took a hit. We're going to lose money because of him not coming now. Because they already booked his plane ticket. So he gets his plane ticket. You know, it's good for a year. You know, and he does what he wants with it. But we're the ones who have to pay for it out of the money from the weekend, you know. So I'm not happy about it, but the show must go on, as they say. And we'll you know, I like the idea of this mystery guest thing, you know, bringing different people on the tour. Let fans see different people from the show. Be great. We could even bring Penthouse girls that have been on the show. We could bring Rick's girls that, you know, that have been on the show. We could bring, you know, anybody who's associated. We could bring as a mystery guest. I think it would be cool.
Are Scott's fears and lack of trust justified in your opinion, or is he just being completely over the top?
Dude, and I'm being totally honest. If I cared that much, I would be in the same position, asking to see breakdowns and all that shit. I mean, my name is on it. Okay, plain and simple. It's the Ronnie and Will block party. But to me, this is it's fun. I'm not looking at it as a fucking business like the way he's looking at it. I'm looking at it. You go out on the weekend, and like I'm telling you, you've been to our block parties in the beginning. Even in the beginning, when we weren't selling shit tickets, people still came to see us. They were thrilled, right or wrong. You were there, and they. Rob, the other camp, he goes on our road trips with us. He could tell you, man, people, they love seeing us. They love sitting there. They love taking pictures. They love hanging out. They love having a drink with us. They love the show, even though, you know, sometimes it's a train wreck, but whatever. People love that we come.
So you do it for the love and for the fun, and you make some money that's secondary, and it's great.
And some money, it's a good weekend's pay, man.
Right, that's the other thing. He's throwing away a lot of cash right now.
I don't understand it, but you'll have to ask him.
You can only lead a horse to water. You can't force him to drink.
I tried to make him drink yesterday, but it didn't work, obviously. He's got this hang-up with Shuley, man, about money.
He's acting more like a big bald mule than a horse.
Well, what can I say?
The show must go on, and it will.
Yeah, we got, JD's coming to Toronto. He already booked his plane ticket and canceled it. Well, not canceled his, but he does have a plane ticket.
Got that going for him. He's got a flight credit.
Yeah, he's got a flight credit on Air Canada.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, wearing my blazer. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked to our program director, Tim Sabian, about his motorcycle accident, how he broke a couple of ribs. We're still not sure how it happened, and why Tim wouldn't take painkillers until he knew what was wrong with him. Here's what happened.
Our program director has courageously made his way down here. And Tim, man, I heard broken ribs, and honestly, I'm surprised you're even here today.
Well, it's very painful anytime you break ribs, whatever. It's any motion or breathing or whatever is painful, but you just got to get through it. That's all.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm still unclear. You were going up a hill, you stood up on the bike, and that's how you broke the ribs?
Well, I was going up this hill. It was about a 30-degree incline, and it was maybe about 20, 30 feet long as far as the length of the hill. And I'm going up the hill on the bike, and as I got up to the top of the hill, I stood up on the pegs. And as I stood up on the pegs, I felt like something snap in my back twice. Whoa. I'm like, holy God. And then I just collapsed. And then next thing you know, I'm tumbling down the hill. And thank God the bike didn't roll on top of me.
So you fell off the bike?
Yeah.
So you think you broke your ribs before you even fell off the bike?
Yeah, I think so. That's my opinion. I don't know. It was just one of those freak things. And I tumbled down the hill. And
How
then
far?
My buddy Paul came to my rescue and put his knee in my back because I told him, I said, I need support there. Oh. And I didn't move. My buddy Frankie, I think, called the ambulance, and I had my other pal, Mark and Anthony there, and they couldn't believe it. So I got in the ambulance, and they took me to the hospital, and they did a CAT scan and everything. And after the CAT scan, they came back and told me I had 2 broken ribs, 9 and 10.
So two questions. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it's a good thing that you had all these buddies around. You're in the middle of freaking
these
nowhere,
guys
right?
are the absolute best on the planet. I mean, there's a brotherhood and a camaraderie with these guys that is just beyond. And we just have fun together. And they're great dirt bike riders. Frankie owns a bagel company, and Paulie owns a vending machine company, and Anthony works on a road construction, and Mark owns buildings here in New York City. And,
do you go with the same group every time?
Yeah. These guys are great. They're just great guys, and they're really into bikes. And Paul just rebuilt my entire bike, which is, it's a 450 Honda, and rebuilt everything. Just put all this stuff on. It's incredible.
Tim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you high right now? I mean,
no,
on painkillers.
Yeah, you said you weren't going to take the medication.
They gave me some morphine. I don't take any of that shit, but they gave me some morphine. When I first came into the emergency room, they said, we need to, give you something for your pain. I said, no. I said, find out what's wrong first, and then I'll decide whether I want to take, painkillers or not. And once they found out that it was broken ribs, then I said, okay. Then they gave me some morphine, and oh my God, it was like, whoop-ha,
Why wouldn't you want to take the painkillers first?
I just don't like taking any. I just, aspirin's, is about as extreme, or vitamins as extreme as I like to get. They gave me some pills to take, but I don't take. I take a leave instead. So I'm taking those like every, 4 hours or so. But that's about it. I just don't, want to mask it.
I have 2 questions for you. How far did you fall down the hill once you fell off the bike?
Probably about 10 feet.
And how long did it take the ambulance to get there?
Literally 7 minutes. It was insane how quick and how fast they responded. And the people that responded, the people in the hospital, were just incredible. And it was ironic. It all happened in the village of Howard. And I took a picture of it and I gave it to Jason, so he'll post it on the website on howardstern.com. But in the village of Howard, it all happened in.
So will you recover and ride again?
Oh, absolutely. It's just one of those things that happen. I mean, you could be walking down the street and something like this happens. It's just a part of it. I mean, I've hurt myself before on bikes and broke arms and that kind of thing and my leg and it's just stuff that happens, and you can't let it beat you down. It's just one of those freak things.
And Howard thinks you're crazy doing this. You know that. Robin, too, going out and running dirt bikes.
That's their opinion. And I may think that he's crazy playing chess. I don't criticize.
Has anybody ever died doing that?
Lost a finger.
You never know. But the point is that everybody has their thing. And for me, I enjoy, riding a dirt bike because of the fact that all you do is focus on one thing, and it's staying alive. And, it really clears your head. And I love the fact of being outside, outdoors. And it's just something I enjoy doing. And I feel very, very, very comfortable riding a dirt bike. And I've been doing it a long, long time. And it's just one of those things. I'm 57. Maybe I shouldn't be, jumping the kind of stuff or doing the kinds of things that I did. But I ran that hill the day before without any problems all day long. No problems whatsoever. And it was just one of those freak things. And I really believe that when I stood up, I popped my back or my ribs popped and broke, and it wasn't the bike or whatever. It was just one of those freak things.
So you don't have a death wish, like he's saying.
No.
And you're in constant pain right now, so when you do normal things, it hurts.
Yeah. Although I was lying there on top of the ground that day immediately after the accident. And I was thinking,
yourself?
No, I says, I want to be under the ground right now. It was so painful.
Like, if you had to fart, would that hurt?
Oh, God, anything, any movement.
How about wiping?
Anything.
Wiping?
Just anything just hurts. Anything just, it's excruciating. And I'm not even kidding. It's not even like fun or funny in any which way, shape, or form.
How are you
it's excruciating.
How are you is your buddy Paul or your pal Mike? Are any of them Mark? Sorry. Are you staying with any of them now? Like, who's taking care of you at home?
Well, I'm doing today's really the first day, so I'm just going to muddle through it depending on how bad things get.
This morning when you woke up, did you think twice about rolling out of bed?
Oh, it was freaking painful. I got up this morning at 3:00 just so I could get ready to come to work. Putting on your underwear is a challenge. It's and I tried to get a shirt on, and I just couldn't. I just whatever I could just put on, I put on. And that was it. So,
Tim, I understand that you are dedicated to the channels and to the show. There's no doubt. But I think that universally everyone would goof on you, but we'd forgive you for not coming in because you have 2 broken ribs.
Well, no, there's stuff to be.
Would Howard?
Absolutely.
No, because of motorcycle accident?
Well, he would go, Tim did something stupid, but he would understand why he wasn't coming in. He doesn't understand why he's on the motorcycle.
It wasn't stupid what I did. It was a freak thing. And I have a responsibility. It's like Robin after her thing. She's in the next day, or any of you would do it. You just don't blow this off. This is a heavy duty responsibility.
But you need to recover.
Yeah, I should be really laying down for a couple of days and just relaxing and chilling out. But I'll get there.
In other words, if laying down for 3 days gets you back to a place where you can use you better, that's better than a month of you. Yeah. I walked by Tim. I go, "You look terrible," and I said, "I take that back. You look miserable." He just looks miserable.
Why don't we have like a bed, like one of those rolling hospital?
No, but you know what? I tell you, I feel good. It's just when I move quickly or move my arms or twist or turn. That's the only time it hurts.
Take the painkillers.
Yeah.
I'll be loopier in a.
Then what?
I don't know.
That'll be
loopy.
fun.
Yeah, take the painkillers.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday's wrap-up show, the guys in the wrap-up show, Gary and John, tried to trap me and get me to say something bad against gay marriage, and I didn't. I explained myself very logically. You listen for yourself.
Don in Missouri, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's up today? I love the Victoria Jackson interview, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Finally, someone stood up to Howard and Robin with their insufferable arrogance about their opinion about gay marriage and said something contrary that over half the country agrees with. Just because the last 20 years of political correctness, they want to change the definition of the word that's been an institution in civilization since the dawn of man. There's people like me that agree with her. There are millions upon millions that just don't want the definition changed, and I loved it, and I thought it was great.
Don, can I ask you a question? Because I really don't know. What are you basing... Oh, he's gone?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, what is he basing the number that half the country... I don't know the answer. Like,
I mean, it used to be... I think it may be a little... in the other direction.
Quite a few people do feel that way.
Yeah, and I think there was a period of time where half the country didn't
feel that way.
I think there was a period of time where half the country didn't think blacks should vote.
Okay, why do you feel that way? You think the word marriage is for?
I just feel like for me, I couldn't give a shit. But if you're asking my opinion, I think that as long as every right that there is equal, okay, that from visiting to handing down, inheritance and all the other stuff. If all that is equal, which I think it should be, and all we're fighting about is a name, then I kind of say, well, that's what you're redefining my word. Who's to say you can redefine?
Well, how do you define marriage?
To me, marriage is between a man and a woman.
I got a question for you. If
It's quite obvious it was a family type structure thing, and but I'd be willing to do it, but just give me something in return. That's the joke I've always made, but it's sort of I feel the same.
Like call it quietly, like fag marriage or something like that.
If there were,
why? It's not the same. Two guys is not the same as a guy and a girl, right?
But why is it? Why is it not?
If two people are in love with each other and want to get married, what does it matter if they're both female or both male?
Yeah, agreed. We're talking just in name only, because in practice, I think they should have every right that I should.
But because it was the thing is things change and except for the things that people don't want to change, because so you're now basing it, it's always been this way, so it shouldn't be this way. But lots of things in this country have always been this way and then changed.
Yeah, and you're asking me to change, and my opinion is no,
which is
I'll
fine.
just keep it.
So here's a question: if there were a national referendum on gay marriage, would you vote for it, against it, or not vote at all?
It would depend on the other half of it. If all the rest of the stuff was already passed legal, that they had every right, then I probably would vote against it. But if my vote meant that they were going to now be able to visit each other in a hospital or have an inheritance, then I would vote.
Why are you so hung up on the word?
Again, it's issue number 1,000. So I'm not that hung up. But to me, it's you're asking me to think differently. It's like you're telling me 2 + 2 is now 5. It's not. But there was two guys together. That's not marriage to me.
But that's the same argument when they wrote the Constitution and blacks in this country were considered a piece of property, not a human. That's what it is. Blacks are property. They're not humans. You're asking me to rewrite it, and then somebody rewrote it.
No,
because it was always that way.
No. That's not why I think that. I don't think it's just because it was always that way. I just sort of feel that marriage wasn't. It's a religious sort of thing meant for family structure, so that you can have a family and kids and all that sort of stuff.
In legal documents, is it even called marriage? Is that the
in a marriage certificate? I think
is it called marriage?
I have no idea.
I kind of lean toward you. Like I'm 100%. If we're gonna have a government sanctioned marriage, gays should be allowed to. Is the name such a big deal? But I do see the point that it lends itself to like people to discrimination. To people having like, oh, it's not really the same if it's.
If you're going to make it different, then it's never the same.
In other words, to me, even if the name were the same and two guys who lived next door to me who were supposedly married, I would never look at it as the same.
But that's different. That's your opinion that you're entitled to have.
Well, that's all we're asking. My opinion.
Do you see that some people would look at it as lesser because it's not called marriage?
Right. That's what it is. You're saying there's marriage and there's whatever we gave you guys.
No,
which is not real marriage.
What if it was just called gay marriage?
If you're coming just from the perspective of like gay people saying, hey, we want to be treated better, would you say, yeah, it's better that it's called marriage?
I don't think that anyone would treat anyone differently because of the name. I don't.
David Maryland, you're on the wrap-up show. Dave, you're there. Hey, how you doing?
I'm here. I got to say, one thing I'll take issue with is you said that Victoria Jackson's perspective is unique. I don't think it's that unique. I think a lot of people believe this. By the way, I am a fiscal conservative, socially liberal atheist who thinks that gays have the right to do whatever they want, including the rights of marriage. Although what I don't understand is, why do we have marriage at all sanctioned by the government? Everybody should have a civil union. Your church should marry you. And get Gary Johnson on to discuss this with Howard so he can actually have a libertarian perspective that he could probably agree with.
And I'll tell you one thing that would bother me. If we get to the point where gay marriage is totally legal, I guarantee you at some point they force that on churches. If a Catholic priest has to, against his will, marry two gay guys, then I'm totally against it.
I don't know that they can do that, but I guess a lot of it has to do with where you get funds from. In other words, if
they
you get
probably can't, but then they're going to say, well, you're tax exempt, so you have to do this now. And that argument will come down there, and that's a slippery thing.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, there was a lot of anger in the room, specifically Ronnie. He wondered why Will was getting on his case, and Will wondered why Ronnie was getting on his case, but we all agreed that they're angry. The question is, who's the angrier guy? You decide for yourself.
Ronnie, did you enjoy meeting Valerie Bertinelli today?
Very much.
You a fan?
Yeah, big fan.
Were you
she looked great.
Weren't you 30 when that show was on?
Stop it now.
Were you a fan of hers during One Day at a Time?
She was hot, man.
And how do you think she's holding up?
She looks really good. I mean, she's the same age as I think, as Lisa G.
No.
Yeah.
A little younger, maybe. But do you think she looks?
No.
I think around there, right?
Yeah, around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lisa looks good, but Valerie's great. She's about 35.
Looked great too. Do you think it's because we see her when she was at her prime, and we're still seeing that in her, or is it that she looks so great? Or is it harder that she looks so great?
I think there's two things going. You still see the beautiful girl you knew, and you could see that in her face, and that all holds up. And then you see how out of shape she got and how she pulled it back in, and that carries a lot of weight too. Pardon the pun.
I think how she looked earlier in life carries some weight, but I think ultimately I thought she looked great today. Very pretty woman.
Awesome.
Yeah, in fact, JD was grumbling about something, and I just heard her go, when she left, he goes, "Do you see those jeans she's wearing?"
Yeah, I think JD was kind of into her. I should get JD down here. I want to ask him a different question. I heard Will was upset with you today. Is this going on?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with him. He'll do anything to pick on me lately. I don't know.
I know what happened.
What happened, Gary? I don't know.
I'm not saying what's wrong. I'll tell you what happened, and then you guys can discuss it. I had to go up to talk to Mel, and on my way down in the lobby, which I'm almost never in during the show, I saw Ronnie talking to some of the security people. So when I go in, Will is frantic, and he goes, "Where the fuck is Ronnie? Valerie Bertinelli's downstairs. She doesn't have ID. I got to get her up." And I just happened to know that Ronnie was in the lobby, but Will did not know to go there to look for him. And Will's rap is like, "You're supposed to be close by. Why are you in the lobby?"
I am close by, and I was expecting her to come because it was already like almost 10 to 8. So I was waiting in the lobby to get her in quick, so we can get her release signed and everything else.
So are you and Will sort of goofing on each other? Or is it turning into something
I don't know if it's goofing. I don't know what his deal is.
Well, did you let Will know that you were in the lobby?
No.
Why
I
not?
didn't know I had to let Will know I was in the lobby. Usually, I wait for a guest. I don't usually. Will doesn't tell me to go wait or where to wait for a guest. But when a guest, it seems like a guest is later when she's due one at 8 o'clock and it's 10 to 8 and she's not here. I'll go outside to see if she's in, like getting checked in, at the front desk or whatever, and she wasn't there. So I figured, okay, at this point already, I'll wait to get her in quicker. I didn't know she didn't have ID.
Do you think Will had reason to be concerned?
I think there's something going on between them, but I think that probably when you go outside, like when I went up to see Mel, I told everybody, listen, I'm going up to see Mel. I'm not here. If you need me, that's where I'll be.
Okay.
So if you go to the lobby, it's not the worst thing in the world to say to me or Will, I'm going to be in the lobby now, because we do need you sometimes when the guests get stuck. But it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, what's going on with you two? Because it seems like you kind of had a joking thing, and it's kind of boiled over into something beyond joking.
I don't know, man. He likes to rile me up. I think I don't know what it is lately.
What do you think?
He likes to stick a needle in my back all the time.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. That's just Will. Will's an angry guy. Nobody realizes how angry he is.
I think he's a lot less angry than he used to be.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I just don't think he shows it to everybody. See, now he
lets
it out on me.
He lets it out when he's mad.
Who's angrier, you or Will?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. It's a close deal. It's a very close deal. You don't realize what a close deal it is.
How close of a deal is it?
What's that?
How close of a deal is it?
He's angry.
You giving him the edge over you?
No, I say we're about even right now.
JD, you're an expert on both. Who's the angrier guy, Will or Ronnie?
I don't know. I would almost. God, I don't know. They're.
See, you can't even make a decision.
Yeah,
you see?
it is really tough. It depends.
I think Will has a lot more control over his anger.
Will Murray, are you an angry guy? That's
Yes.
what's being tossed out here. Are you angrier
but it's much
than
better than it used to be.
Are you angrier than Ronnie?
No.
He didn't say it was a close deal.
Well, that's him.
I'm aware of that. What
you're aware of that.
We were saying that Ronnie was saying that there's something weird going on between you two. Like you're kind of breaking each other's balls, but there's a little more to it.
No, I'm
than
not
that.
breaking his balls. He's breaking mine lately.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we were looking for Ronnie this morning. I couldn't find him. It was irritating.
Here. I was here.
You didn't tell anybody where you went.
What is this? What am I in kindergarten?
Listen, we need to know where you are.
I was right.
That happens a lot. There's a bunch of these dopey people that don't bring ID with them for some reason.
Why are you calling Valerie Bertinelli dopey now?
I'm saying it was a dopey move. I'm not saying she is dopey. I'm
Well,
saying
you did.
who travels
Because
around New York
she had
City
no
without an
ID
ID
on
are
her.
there? Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, I went down there immediately and got her up
Not
here
immediately. No, we had to find you. Like a 5-year-old.
Well, why
track you down.
Well, why do you need to be aware of where
You're at an
Ronnie
age
is?
where you could get lost and not know where you are, and then we have to find you.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
why do you need to be aware of where Ronnie is?
take Ronnie to the
everybody
ball.
understands?
Mr. Comedian.
It's just funny because, like I said, he's important to the show about 7 minutes out of the day. And it seems like 4 of those 7 minutes I can never find him.
I was
just
waiting
busy
for the guest
socializing, doing the Ronnie Munn show.
Since it was 10 to 8, I was waiting for the guest in the lobby.
Well, again, like I said,
get her in quick.
If you had said to Scott, "Hey, I'm going to wait out,"
Scott, what do I have to
anybody,
tell Scott for?
because you and him sit together and talk about God knows what every day. So that's usually where we can find you sleeping. So I knew that's the first place. That's the first place I would go to talk to you.
All right, take it easy.
I'm just saying.
Where's your sponge to clean your cup out?
I threw it out. It was
All
getting a little gross.
Yeah, it looked a little shitty this morning.
Yeah.
What's the underlying anger between these two?
I don't know. I think they just love to bust people's balls, and
I think it with too much alike.
When they're when they're busting each other's balls, it's like World War.
And he just won't admit it.
No, I love Ronnie. I said I was angry.
Do you guys think you're similar? I mean, other than the anger, are there other personality traits that you both share?
No, but I think, like you said, I think we both have short fuses and we get angry easily. Like I said, I've been trying to control that much better.
Now, Scott Salem got his anger under control.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Until he doesn't.
Yeah, until Tim walks in.
Gary, something we brought up before you came in, where Howard's reaction to you having 4,000 pieces of vinyl. And Steve asked me, I say, no, I call them records. But, why do you think he has such a reaction to that?
I just think that's just what he picked up on today. You think that if I said I had 4,000 records, he wouldn't have made fun of that?
I don't know. That in particular seemed to get under his skin today.
He just wants to fuck with me.
Is pieces a term that people use, or did you just
some
miss that?
people say that sometimes. It may not be. People have said that. It's not ridiculous, but it's ridiculous to him. It's ridiculous to have the records.
Well, how did you feel about his critique of your appearance on Jimmy Fallon? I did notice that you didn't go in to discuss it.
No. Here's what I'll say. I got up on Saturday morning. I went to Twitter and read every imaginable insult that could be hurled at me about my teeth, about licking my lips, about what a bore I am, about how much Howard hates me, all of that. None of them said I was fat. No, so I thought that was funny that Howard goes, "Oh my God, he was so fat. You could see his belly hanging over." And I watch a lot of late night shows. Everybody that comes on a show does not wear a jacket. Some people don't.
Mm-hmm. So why was Howard calling you fat? Do you think he doesn't think you're fat?
I don't know what he's up to. I think this is funny. Howard's been calling a lot of people fat lately, and I sometimes wonder when Howard thinks he's fat. First of all, Howard's never been fat in 20 years, or 15 years or whatever. And he was saying today to James Franco that, he's skinny fat or whatever. But Howard will put on 4 pounds, and in his mind, he'll be fat. And I think sometimes he obsesses and then projects when he feels fat, everybody else is fat.
So you're saying Howard feels like he may be a little overweight, so anybody he talks to or sees is therefore overweight in his eyes?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he's definitely been saying it to me and you and other people.
Well, anybody, yeah, everybody's overweight. Listen, in his world, overweight is, it's if you're 10 pounds underweight, you're 5 pounds overweight.
Yeah, why does he have that perspective? You're right. He's a thin, in-shape guy.
I sort of get it. He was a heavy guy for a decent chunk of his life, and then he got really skinny, and it's a fear to go back.
I've never seen this fat Howard.
Oh, he was.
I've seen the pictures from camp, and he's skinny like a
right,
rail.
But then later on, he got fat. When I first met him, maybe he thought he was fatter than he was. I know that the story that he tells on the air all the time that really traumatizes him was that he was walking with his parka on and his whole ass filled with the parka. Somebody walked by and go, "Hey, fat ass." And there's another one where they were at a concert. I think it was a Rolling Stones concert at RFK Stadium, and somebody yelled, "Sit down, fat ass." And Howard was like, "I can't, is that me?" And it was really upsetting to him.
But once he took the weight off, he hasn't gone back. I mean, he's been very strict about that. But you're right. I have noticed that he will say he's fat, and he he looks anything but.
Exactly. I mean, he's in pretty amazing shape, and I don't know if I'm allowed. He's going to get older soon. He's going to be 60 in January. He's in fucking great shape. He doesn't look like anybody his age.
How did you feel doing Fallon? Like, were you thinking, what's Howard going to goof on, or I
thought it was great. You know, Howard said he spoke to me for like 4 or 5 minutes. I think he spoke to everybody for like 5 minutes. But again, I'm the third guest. I'm lucky to be on. I'm not expecting him to do an in-depth interview with me. He's a great guy. It's a great experience over there. They treat you like a king. And the point was to go on. Of course, we're talking about vinyl. We're promoting the show. It wasn't like I went there to talk about the Howard Stern show and hijacked it to talking about vinyl.
Well, I thought you did a good job.
And I thought I did a good job promoting the Howard Stern show. I talked about the Billy Joel interview. The Sirius XM plug got in. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Were you mad that here's the one thing I got a little bit of on Twitter too. Were you mad that I didn't mention you?
What do you mean?
That I didn't say, oh, I do a show with my buddy John Hine?
No, I figured you guys discussed it before, and you're saying you're just going to talk about... No, I don't care. I mean, what are you going to do? In that situation, you answer the questions.
Because there were some people like, oh, I can see, here's the crack between Sean and Gary. The friendship is over.
Well, I told you, I was totally jealous you were doing it, but as we talked about off the air, I said, if you're going to promote the show, you have to do it.
And I wanted John to be there. It's totally easier when there's two of us than one.
John, did you get to do anything?
Hold on a second.
John, did you get to do anything exciting instead?
Yeah, I got to see my daughter Emily perform in Urinetown.
Oh.
So while I was doing that, Gary was on with Elizabeth Mitchell.
I was hanging out with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Myself was taking pictures with Questlove. We were having a blast.
Shauna, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi, this is Shayna.
Oh, hi, Shayna. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Baba Booey, I love you. You are not fat. You're beautiful.
Thank you, Shayna.
You're welcome. All right, so I have a theory. First of all, I'm a Jewish girl, and Jewish parents obsess about weight. There's two things that you can't, the worst things that you could be are fat and not keep your house clean. And I think Howard's parents probably obsessed about it, and it's just stuck in his head.
Well, Howard's told a story on the air before of his parents sitting him down and saying, look, you're not in good shape. You have to clean up your act. You need to get thinner, and more from a health perspective, though, I think, than a viewing perspective. Would you agree, Gary?
Yes, they were doing it more for the health thing. But it's funny that you say that Jewish people are obsessed with weight, because Jews, like Italians, are also obsessed with food.
Yes, and sometimes that combination doesn't work out that
Exactly.
well. As if you look at some of our staff, including myself, you can see that happen. Thank you for your call. Let's go over to Jack in Savannah. Jack, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. Hey, yeah, real quick. On that thing with Howard being obsessed with Gary's vinyl obsession, I guess we could call it. I think it's the same principle as people that become sports encyclopedias that have absolutely no sports aptitude whatsoever to compensate for it. I think it's the same thing. Gary wishes he was a rock star, wish he was associated with the music industry, and that's his way of compensating for it. And it gets under Howard's skin. I think that's my take on it. And by the way, Michelle Shocked, that was anchored down in Anchorage, was a little minor hit. Remember that?
Yes.
Keep the shit song.
It was yeah, I remember it well, actually. Jack, here's what I would say. I always love music. I don't think I'm overcompensating, and in some strange way, I am in the music business. I get to work with musicians every day. I get to book some of the bands that I grew up loving on the show, so I actually do work in the music business.
What do you think about my theory, though, is why that's Howard's gets under his craw? Do you think it's something like that, though?
I don't know. I don't think that's it. But I would love to hear more theories.
Today, I think it was because you called it pieces. That's what got to him.
But that's something he could grab onto. I just think today he was looking to grab onto something.
No, because if you his take was you're saying it as if you're the scholar, and versus just saying, hey, I got a bunch of records. But you're right. He could take any angle to go after you if he wants to. All right, Jennifer in Jersey, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, I understand that poking fun makes for good radio, but is there ever a time that your feelings get really hurt, Baba Booey, online, or, when you're on the air and then after the show, Howard really apologizes? Or is there ever a time where you're like, enough is enough?
Well, a lot of times enough is enough, but what are you going to do? If you would have called 6 months ago, I would say Howard has never apologized to me off the air. But I think we talked about this on the air. After the Carol Miller whooping cough incident, when Howard really just skewered me the whole day, made me feel like I had infected half of America and everything. He called me that afternoon and he said he might have gone a little far, and then I felt worse That like sometimes I wish he would do that, but then it makes me feel worse. I can't explain it.
Did you tell me that you ended up apologizing to him after he apologized to you?
Yeah, I was like, don't worry about it. But that actually, I sort of felt good because I thought that it had gone to a very dark place that day, where it was personal about what a fucking loser and asshole I am, and I was starting to fear for my job.
I like that Jennifer asked you a really sincere question about your thoughts, but refers to you as Baba Booey the whole time.
That's okay. I am Baba, but I am Baba Booey to a lot of people. I don't get offended by that.
Well, I love you. I love listening to you guys, especially after the Howard Show.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye-bye.
John in Michigan, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, Gary, Baba Booey, happy birthday. A little late. Mine was March 7th.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
I wanted to say, I am a DJ, KJ, karaoke, that kind of stuff, and I want to defend on the pieces of vinyl statement. I would say I probably have 15,000 or more pieces of vinyl, but you got to break it down into 45s, 78s, 33s, different brackets from that. So I don't know why he had to give you such a ration of hell about that, because pieces are pieces.
So,
right?
John, it would be inaccurate to call them albums because they're not all albums. They're all records,
right.
Correct?
Right.
So now it includes my 78s and my 45s.
Right. Pieces of vinyl would be total vinyl, whether it's 45, 78, 33. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then you break it down in brackets from there. So him saying, in Baba Booey, I got 5,000 pieces of vinyl. Well, how many of those pieces of vinyl are 78s? How many are 45s? Yada, yada. How many individual
I will say this. It's an expression that I've been using for a long time that I probably got with the guys at the record store. And it might sound odd to some people, but I will say this. I'm certainly not trying to show off.
Okay. Thank you, John. Lee in Florida, you're on the wrap-up show. Lee, are you there?
Oh, hi. Yes, this is for Gary. I think the reason Howard picks on him so much is that he loves you so much, and part of the thing is that the whole premise of the show is they bust each other's balls.
Gary, do you agree with Lee? He picks on you because he loves you?
I would agree more if I got the love part somewhere. Like if Howard said, like once every 6 months, I pick on you because I love you. But I don't get the love part, so I have to. It's inferred, Howard and I are like Howard's my hard ass dad. I just have to know he loves me without him saying it.
He has said it though from time to time. Oh, I love Babu, and then he goes through a 20-minute bit about something you do wrong, but he does say it.
Yeah, but that's like Don Rickles go, "I love you," and then he insults you.
Yes,
but does he love you, or is it just something to say to soften you while he's making fun of you?
Oh, I think Howard loves you.
Oh, I do too.
But I think he loves to pick on you more.
Right.
And he knows it's entertaining for the show.
I mean, it's 99% fucking with me and 1% telling people he loves me.
Tuesday's wrap-up show, I wanted to talk about how Howard dislikes the block party and how he dislikes Gary working with John Hine on their TV show. I try to describe with Shuli that we're really not doing anything bad. We're doing something good for the show, but Howard doesn't seem to understand that. So you guys should check it out and see what happened.
Howard feels that he wasn't overwhelmingly negative in his critique of Gary's Fallon appearance. And Gary came in swinging this morning. I thought he was definitely looking for a fight, and he got one. And I thought he handled himself okay, but Gary wouldn't leave. And it was just, pounding after pounding. So we'll see how he's holding up when he comes in here. And then when Gary left, it was Ronnie's turn for the block party. And Howard says it's a blemish and had not too kind a word to say about that. He was commenting on Lisa G's book. He was commenting on all of these other projects that people here are doing, and feels that it's, you work for the Howard Stern show, and if you have any extra time, it should be spent working for this show or, doing, I guess, whatever you want to do personally, but not necessarily other projects. And Gary, it seemed like this morning you were looking for a fight when you went in there.
Well, I think I was the lightning rod. I mean, when he started first thing in the morning, what happened was he goes, "Geez, I never heard pieces of vinyl." And I said to him, I wasn't looking for a fight. I said, it's not an unheard of expression. Well, I never heard it. And so I think he was looking for a fight too. He saw me getting a little unnerved and he was baiting me.
No, I'm saying I think you were looking for a fight.
What do you mean?
I thought you were angry about the pieces of, and his whole critique of him.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, to some degree, I called him out to just be up front, and I think that I could have gone on Jimmy Fallon with firecrackers and Roman candles spitting out of my ass and done the greatest thing in the world, and he would have found fault with it.
Did it hurt your feelings when he said he watched it only because he had to, not because he wanted to?
It didn't hurt my feelings, but it was an obvious insult. Like, it was meant to be insulting.
And Robin?
What about her?
She was piling on quite a bit this morning, I thought, with you. And
she must be working on her book.
Well, that's fair,
No, I mean, she's working on a book. And again, everybody here isn't created equal, but let's be upfront.
It's different rules for different people. You know
That's
that.
true.
And
That's
I mean,
true.
myself included, I think. And you have to suffer through that sometimes, and sometimes you benefit from that. But Howard said that he felt he wasn't overwhelmingly negative in his critique of you.
I'm laughing because while you're saying this to me, you're looking at me and you're smiling.
Yeah, because he was overwhelmingly negative in his critique of you. But Robin always takes the angle that Howard's trying to help.
Right.
You learn from this sort of thing.
Right.
Do you feel like you've learned anything from this?
Well, I mean, I learned that he doesn't like us doing the show. But I mean, the whole stuff about the way I dressed, I think, again, he's just... Listen, did I look phenomenal? No. Did I look horrific? No. I think it was just something he felt like picking out because he wanted to fuck with me.
Do you feel skinnier because we're on TV together and I make you look thinner?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And several people have told me that.
Yeah, me too.
Although somebody told me that you make me look older.
People have said to me that they didn't realize how much taller I am than you.
Right. But I got one of my best friends, the guy who's best man at my wedding, he said, you got to stay away from that guy. He's making you look old. He's got black hair. You're all gray.
Well, not even all my hair. But look, you take your lumps like anything else, but our show wasn't the only thing that was picked on. He called out Lisa's book. He called out the block party. He really called out any outside project and said, you know what? When the show's not on, you should be working here. In my experience working here, and I've worked a bunch of other places, I've never seen, for the most part, people who work harder on a show. I mean, everybody here sort of obviously loves the show, but people dedicate their lives really to this show. Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
I do. And Will's come on and said, I forget the expression he uses. It's, it's not a job. It's a lifestyle. You don't go home. I don't go home at 4 p.m. and go, turning off my phone. I'm not looking at my email. I'm done for the day. That's just impossible. There's many nights that I'm doing show material, even on Sunday. Howard and I were on the phone 3 times on Sunday.
I did understand Howard's distinction, though, when the caller called in later about this. He is the boss. If he wants to do AGT, that's his call. And if he wants to make sure that we're working 24/7, that's his call also. That's what a boss does. It's a matter of how we, if we were on board for that sort of thing.
I think that there was some information that was given to us a couple of years ago that may have changed. And I think it's a discussion that I'll probably inevitably have with him off the air. But, even if you listened on the air, you heard Howard say, however many years ago when he was waiting to sign the contract that we're in now, I can't sleep at night because I worry about you guys. I worry that I'm responsible for you. You guys need to figure out a future. So some people tried to figure out a future, and I think that seems to bother him. So I got to figure it out.
Craig and Madison, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hi, Craig.
Hey, Gary. Due respect, if I worked for Howard, I would have kicked him in the balls by now for the way he treats you.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
All right, I know, but I'm just saying, you really put up with a lot of shit. Okay, there's no reason for these Ronnie's block parties to be canceled. Howard created the monster. He turns his employees into semi-celebrities, and then they milk it. What's wrong with that? Look at Jackie the Joke Man, all the stuff he sold. Look at Artie. Where would he be? He's on DirecTV. He's got his own show, and he's too fat to fish. Baba Booey, you wrote that stupid autobiography. You never would have been able to write that. And even Fred milked it with his band.
Well, I think let's take it back. With Artie and Jackie, they both arrived here with careers. So I think when Jackie started, he was a stand-up comedian. It may not have been a great career, and his career got dramatically better while he was here.
But he was established.
But he was established as a comedian. So his plugs were actually, written into his contract, which is a whole other story we should talk about one day. And with Artie arrived here as a guy who'd already been on a network television show and also had an established stand-up career, which also got dramatically better while he was here. So again, I think, them plugging or going out and doing gigs is something that you knew you hired a guy and he does this other stuff and you knew you were going to deal with that. I think for somebody like me who started on the show as a kid in college, it developed. And so maybe Howard feels he has a little bit more say over how that works. And he's right. Do I think that I would have sold over 100,000 books without being on the show? Who would give a shit about my story at all? Mm-hmm. Of course I'm aware of that. And even that John and I got a show, I think John and I do good on this show, and I think we do a good job on the other show, but we don't make any pretense that we would have gotten a show without being on this show.
Well, I think you draw on a distinction that we talked about last week, which is those who were born and raised, as I like to say, on the show versus those who came to the show after they did something else. And I think Howard makes a distinction in his mind about that, whether it's you or Sal or, JD, Ronnie, all these people who came here, this was their job, and then became famous, quote unquote, for being on the Howard Stern show. Whereas other people, maybe Richard, had done something else and maybe different rules apply to everybody. But I don't think anyone here kids themselves that the success from our outside project doesn't stem off of the success of the show. If the fans of the show don't support our outside projects, then nobody's going anywhere. But
the people who kidded themselves about that are no longer here.
Right. That's right. But doing those outside projects isn't necessarily a reflection on your involvement within this show. And that's what I think is getting missed here.
I agree, but I think with Howard, it's very black or white. If you're not doing something for me, then you're doing something that's not for me. And I think it's as simple as that. You're doing something that doesn't benefit me, so why are you doing it?
And he wasn't stopping. This morning, he was genuinely pissed off, said, quote, he doesn't like the outside projects, and it's got to come to a stop. And the Block Party took a major hit, with Ronnie, and Ronnie went in there to defend himself, of course, and didn't do a very good job. And now the Block Party, I'm guessing, Shuli, that the guys are thinking twice about it because Howard's saying, I really don't want you doing that sort of thing.
It's not even about thinking at this point. He's the boss. What he says goes. And if he's not happy with it, then, we're not going to continue to do it. The thing that bums me out is, A, he's never seen what we do. And I'm not saying he should come to a show. I don't even know that he would like it. But I think the picture he's painting in his mind is much, much different than what we're actually doing.
He's seen it. We've seen a telescope version of it.
Well, but that's not the show. A telescope version is not what we do, And,
right.
And so he hasn't seen it.
Right.
But that's the reality of it.
The other thing you run up against though, Shuli, is I think, for example, Gary and I's show is separate from this show in a way, whereas yours could be viewed as an extension of the show, like a Howard Stern show on the road.
And look, the whole Block Party got started based on the fact that, there are people who work here that, look, we live in New York. It's expensive as hell to live out here on the East Coast. And, you got to make ends meet somehow, some way. So it was put together as a goof. Did I think that, a year later we'd be selling out shows across the country? Absolutely not. And it took off. And I think it took off because people are actually enjoying it. If they didn't, like you said, John, they wouldn't support it and they wouldn't buy tickets. And, I don't know.
You bring up an interesting point because now that we're talking really bluntly about this, I was sort of surprised when you guys first started that Howard sort of let it happen.
Right.
Because there were other things like it that he had put the squash on.
Absolutely.
Stuttering John had been out in his version of this. And
we did the Killers of Comedy before the Block Party.
All that sort of stuff. But I think that once it became... it's weird, if it's a... John had a great move. John just hired 3 good comedians and called it Stuttering John's Comedy Show or whatever.
Stuttering John and Friends.
Stuttering John and Friends. But I think that the Block Party, what Ronnie up front for whatever it is, but when it started, I was surprised that he let it go. And I think that because it was sort of this quiet little thing, he didn't really pay that much attention to it. I think when it got big, it caught his attention.
What's strange to me also is that, when he's screaming how much he hates it, I think back of, me and Scott fighting in studio over money, or JD telling, stories about getting late on the road. And, it didn't seem that he had a problem with it as on the scale that he does now then.
Right. The only thing I would say is, and I think you would admit this, but others in the Block Party wouldn't, it has provided tons of show content.
Absolutely.
But let's not kid ourselves. That's not why you guys are doing it.
No, absolutely
I think
not.
Ronnie thinks he's doing it because it provides show content and he enjoys it.
No, Ronnie does it. I can tell you without a doubt that Ronnie does it because he loves doing it.
What does he love about it?
It's the Ronnie Mund block party.
I get it.
But I think that's what he loves about it.
He really does. He loves that there's people coming out to see, his show, and he just digs it. He was in a shell. He was like, he wasn't into it at first. And once he got the bug, he's like, he's Mr. Block Party. He loves doing it.
Ronnie, do you feel like the success of the block party has changed you in a way?
What are you talking about? I'm the same miserable asshole. What's the difference?
You know what I mean. Like Shuli was saying before, that you enjoy the fame of the block party, being the guy on stage, making sure everybody's having a good time.
It's fun being out there with the people. I like it. But is something wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Clearly, he's a people person.
But my question is,
I am a people person. When I get around the fans, I'm a people person.
But my question
Ask them. They love coming to the shows.
But my question is, do you need sort of a stage and fans for it, or are you that way whether you're on stage or off? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know how I am when I'm off, so why would you even ask the question?
Stupid question, John. Dumb question.
I know how you are with me, Ronnie. We're friends.
Yeah, we are. I hope.
But I'm saying, like,
Ronnie, can I make a point here? If Matt Lauer was interviewing a friend, and every time Matt asked a question, the guy and he goes, "You know how I am. You know me." Then the audience wouldn't get anything out of it.
But the audience knows my routine here. I mean, I get my ass busted.
You understand? If John asks a question that he knows the answer to, he might think the audience needs to know the answer.
Ask the question again, John.
May I, Ronnie?
Yeah, be my guest.
No, I don't want to. I'm going to move on to a different one. After Gary was in there for a while, getting beat up pretty bad for his pieces of vinyl and Fallon and weight and everything else, Howard quickly shifted to the block party, and he played, I guess, Stephanie read. He was going to play Stephanie reading a poem.
He did play it, didn't he?
And you went right in there, and
I didn't go right in there right away. I asked Gary, should I go in? And he goes, yeah, I think so. So I wasn't sure whether you're going to go in.
What did you think of Howard's take, calling the block party a blemish, and he's embarrassed by it? He doesn't sound like he wants it to keep going.
A pubic hair in his hamburger.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. So,
well, where's the confusion?
What do you mean? Where's he? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I just don't know.
What are you going to do?
Well, we're booked up till the end of the year, so I don't know if he wants to.
How much? When you say booked up, how many shows are you talking to get left?
We do
6,
one
10?
show a month.
One a month.
Okay. So
we're talking like 8, 9 shows.
Will
left.
you book new shows?
I don't know what to do. Okay.
Well, Shuli,
let me ask you a question. If somebody comes to you and offers you another TV show, what are you going to do?
I got to think about it.
I got to think about it too.
And from my point of view, I just want to make sure rock solid one way or the other. If he wants it stopped, then it will stop. But
what he said today, he wants it stopped. So what do you need to hear?
I think
because I've heard different things.
I think we're getting into Greg Fitzsimmons forward territory.
What do you mean?
I don't think Howard wants to come out and say, Shuli, Ronnie, stop it.
But that's all he's been saying. So
but
I don't understand.
But he does and he doesn't say it. Like when he's on the show, he says, and this I want this to go away, this and that. But
well, he said the same thing about your show. So what are you breaking my balls for?
Because our show's already taped and in the can. There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, we have tickets sold already too.
Okay, so then you're going to keep doing your live shows, and like you said, you're scheduled through the rest of the year.
Okay.
And like you said, when you said Howard did say it and didn't say it, that's why I'm asking for solid clarification, just so I know that, I can tell the promoter, don't book any more shows.
If Shuli asked for solid clarification like that, Howard was going to say, I want it done. And then does it stop? Or like, it would be a mistake for Shuli to ask that question.
It's a mistake if he wants the answer he wants. Because I think if you ask Howard that question, it will be no. I want it stopped. I think that's what it'll say. I took a little offense today too when Howard said, "I wish I had an executive producer who could handle these things for me," but I didn't know what he wanted. He never. The block party was on the road for a long time, and Howard never said to me in any way, shape, or form that he wanted it stopped. Right. I would do what he needs to have done. I would have that conversation.
And I have no problem stopping it. None at all. If that's what he wants, he is the boss. What he says goes, and it will be done.
Tom and Boston.
But how come you didn't have a problem when Scott was on it? And I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Scott tortured you.
Because when Scott was on it, every day it was another thing about the block party.
But I think when Scott was on it, it wasn't as big as it is now.
Wasn't the juggernaut.
Yeah. Didn't become the force that it's become out there in the comedy world.
Okay.
So you guys are drawing very well.
Yeah, I know we are. And I thought that would make them, and, say what you want. I thought that would make them happy. I thought being out there with the fans and doing this kind of stuff, they're enjoying it. I thought it was some kind of interaction with the show. I thought he might like. I thought he liked it. I thought he did. I guess he doesn't. So if he wants it over with, fine.
Do you feel like you're representing the show when you guys go out there?
A little bit. You don't think so?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe that's what he doesn't want.
All right. Why is he climbing all over my fucking ass when he's doing all his own shows?
I think he's got a problem with you.
I'm not climbing over anybody. Tom in Boston, you're on the wrap-up show.
John, you ask everybody what the problem is. The way I see it is Gary, Shuli, Ronnie. I think everybody there, especially those three, really worked their ass off for Howard, and it just feels like they're beaten, like they didn't do anything wrong. They're trying to make money. It's funny when someone goes to AGT and drops $15 million on a part-time job. Here these guys are just trying to make ends meet a little bit more, and I just think that sometimes Howard gets a little pompous, and I love him to death, but and these guys are like, wow, we're just trying to make money. We're not doing anything wrong. We're not cutting up the show, and here we're getting shit on. And Gary, you are his executive producer, and you let him shit on you. Every single thing you do outside that show, he shits on you. If Artie was there doing something, do you think Artie would come in and say, oh, Artie, you look like a fat fuck? He would never do that.
But we discussed
on you because you let him.
We discussed not because I let him. We discussed that earlier because Artie had a career coming in, and I'm going to make a big point here right now. I'm pretty sure John will agree with me. My motivation for doing the TV show is not money. If I told you what we make, it's almost nothing. It's almost not worth doing it. My motivation for doing it is to be prepared for when Howard's done. Now, Howard might say, well, what the fuck are you doing? Who would want you when I'm done? And that's a legitimate question to ask, but I'm at least making an effort to try to establish something that somebody might be interested in when he's done.
I can't speak for the block party, but I agree with Gary. That's why we did it. We're looking to maybe, do something with our careers once Howard finishes, because you don't want Howard to end and be like, okay, now what do we do?
Well, Shuli has a career as a comedian, and I think, having the block parties, if it does end, at least he's out there. He's got his name out there, and he maybe can go a little bigger than he was before, because before he wasn't, drawing the crowds he's drawing now.
So Ronnie, John and I are out there trying to establish ourselves as maybe hosts for down the road. Shuli's out there trying to establish himself as a comedian. I think you like the money, but I don't think you do it for the money. So what's your motivation?
I just like doing it. I mean, I like being on the road with these guys. We have a good time. And like I said, I like hanging with the people. And that's it. I mean, I don't have to do it. Without a doubt, I don't have to do it. And I make a fine living here between the limo business and the security. I make a fine living that I don't have to do it. The money is great. Whatever it is, it goes. To be honest with you, last year, the money that I made, I bought my Corvette with. I got something for myself out of it.
Would you think it's fair to say, don't take this as an insult, because it's not, you might hear the word and think of it, that for you it's mostly about ego?
No, it's not ego at all.
And ego that it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to do it.
I like doing it. Yeah, I like doing it. And I've said it 100 times. I like doing it. I like being out there with the people.
But I
enjoy it.
That is ego.
But it's not ego to me.
Ego is not a negative word.
Yeah, I know. But
it means it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I like it. I do. I like doing it.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, JD spoke about where he found anal massage clips, and then the conversation quickly turned to Benji, who's wearing lifts, which are about this big. Benji claims he's 5'8", none of us believe him, and so we had a long, detailed discussion about Benji, his height, and everything else that's Benji.
Let's get over that anal massage you were listening to.
What?
How did you uncover that clip?
Well,
it's a whole series.
It started with a clip on YouTube and like other websites where it's mainly that intro part.
But it's sort of it's edited weird. They got weird things. And they replayed.
But how do you become aware of that it even exists?
I think I'm either I came upon it somehow or someone emailed it to me.
Stop there. That would be interesting. How would you come upon it somehow?
Well, someone emails it to me,
okay.
or I find it on the website or something.
Is it the voice? Is it the material? Is it everything that works?
Oh yeah, I mean the guy's talking about anal massage and assholes and stuff like that. You gotta see more. So I basically looked it up, and there was a thing you can get it on Amazon somewhere, and I was like, it costs like $50. It costs a lot of money.
What, like a DVD?
Yeah, and then or video, and because it's like from 2001 or so. It was a while ago. And then I came upon. I was trying to see if there was anywhere to see it online, the full thing, and I came upon the website, eroticmassage.com, and it has a whole bunch of different like sexual massage things or whatever.
Did you check out the whole website while you were there?
Well, I think you can only buy you can buy the certain tapes, not like can't get a whole access to the website to everything.
You can't get the library.
You can't get the library. You can only get a certain.
What are some of the other massage choices besides anal?
I don't remember. It's just a lot of sexual and tantric and holistic and but they're all involved. Sex and anuses and penises and stuff like that.
And did you learn anything from this?
Learn anything?
Yes.
I mean, I learned stuff that I don't want to do to myself.
Are you tempted to go home and massage your asshole?
No.
Did any of it appeal to you in any way?
No.
How about you, Benji?
Yeah, I thought the guy. It was very funny, his voice and his rhythm. But first of all, I thought listening to him was really enjoyable. I like his whole rhythm. And yeah, I think he has a good points, to get the maximum pleasure without hurting anyone else out of your body. It sounded like I wanted to touch my ass the way he described it. I have he made it sound really fun. He really did.
It is. Tell us how that works out.
Something like this, something like that. Not that I'm looking to do it, but it's something that takes a lot of time and involvement and stuff. And I just want to, just jerk off, and that's it. Really,
you're not willing to make that kind of commitment.
I don't want to commit. First of all, I'm not interested in things going up and.
Yeah, I agree with it. I'm not into the actual. I guess he was talking about certain things that doesn't. But just, listen, you get pleasure when you clean your ass in the shower, right? That feels good.
Well, no, not really.
But doesn't it feel good? Just different parts. Listen, if you stroke most parts of your body in the right way, it feels nice, right? Doesn't it?
I don't know, Benji.
We're going down the rabbit hole.
Let's talk about the shoes, Benji, because a lot of people did notice them today. Benji's got huge. They're not even lifts. I don't know what to call them. They're like
Air Jordanas.
They're Frankenstein kind of shoes. And are you doing it for attention? Or are you doing it because you really enjoy being taller?
I like the look. I always wanted to do it, and I told Elisa, I'm a perfectionist, so this is the kind of thing I would never get done. I told Elisa about it when we first started dating. She's like, oh, I can do that, have that done in 2 seconds. And she went to a shoe store and had them made. I've worn them for about a year now.
But they were black, and they were
black. Those fell apart, so we just made new ones.
How do you decide on the height? Because those are pretty tall.
I want it to be natural, so I'm going up a little slowly throughout the years.
Right. In other words, you got C cups instead of D cups.
Exactly. But I do feel it's weird now when I don't have them on. I feel really weird at work without them.
How tall are you without the shoes?
I think I've said I say 5'9", but Gary said he thinks I'm 5'8".
He might be shorter because I'm 5'8". He's not that much taller than me with the shoes on.
No, I'm saying without the shoes, you're 5'8",
I think, around.
Okay.
5'8", 5'9", something like that.
5'7".
5'7".
I know I do because
5'2".
Because you're not that much taller than me with the shoes.
Yeah,
on.
I'll say 5'8", maybe under 5'8", maybe under 5'4". I don't know.
And how tall are you, Steve?
5'8". So
yeah, but you have shoes.
He's got to be
now.
5'6" or something like
right.
that. 5'7".
No,
look at those things.
I'll put money on it.
Can we measure you after the show?
Yeah, you can measure all parts.
How tall? How many inches are you looking to make your shoes eventually?
Yeah, what's the
max?
end game?
I think it'd be so fun to be to be Howard. Howard height.
6'5" you want to be?
I think that would be fun. That's the eventual goal.
You're not going to be able to walk.
He had a great line during the break. Howard was asking him about it and stuff. And Benji goes, I've been wearing them so long. Now when I see other short people, I go, look at Ganji. He's short and fat.
I do. He looks like a slob now to me. He looks like I love Ganji. He's a nice guy. I actually think he's a handsome guy. But he looks like this little dumpy, squished thing now when I wear my shoes.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate.